Reviews.
Back up in here, yo.
And today, we're going to bring you a little bit of a different setup. Ian just got back from watching Bad Times at the El Royale. And for time purposes, I went to go watch another film that's out in short limited release. Yes. So we could bring you two reviews, on the same day.
Boom.
Mind blown. So in this format, I am going to ask Ian questions about the film he watched, and Ian will then give you out there his perspective.
Yes.
I'm going to kind of do devil's advocate and ask some questions that maybe I think you guys would ask or that I would ask, and see if you can answer those about this film.
Yeah.
Non-spoiler. We'll do spoiler one after that. After this one, I should say. Sorry. All right. And ready? How do you think people did as far as being cast in this role? Do all the characters play their part well?
They do. They actually do a pretty good job in terms of casting and doing the fitting the right role, the right character. They actually do a pretty good job of it. And then it's set in like the 60s. So they still keep that 60s vibe going through. So, I mean, it's kind of...
Segregation?
They actually didn't, which I thought was weird because I figured they would do it with one of the characters.
Okay.
But they didn't really bring... They did a little bit. There was a little bit at the beginning when you first see her. Because one of the guys like, oh, I sell vacuums. And he's like, you should know people that deal with vacuums. Wow. And like that was it. That was like the total thing of like, I was like, oh, I thought they'd bring more up. And then like they really didn't do any more after that.
Okay, that's cool.
Like they didn't even, I was like, even her, like, getting a room, they didn't really say anything about like her getting a room or anything else. They
Maybe because it's set in Vegas.
Kind of. Half in Vegas.
Yeah. So they're halfway lenient.
I think they just kind of didn't want to bring up that whole thing in the movie and just kind of just like, I mean,
does that make
a small little nod to it and then move on, and we're not going to bring it up again.
Right on. Okay. And then any character performances that stuck out to you in this film?
They all pretty well. Like Helmsworth played a hippie, and it's kind of different when he plays a hippie. He's like trying to dance, and it's like, okay, you're not Thor anymore, so you're trying to change your character up. But everyone else like pretty much fit their role. They didn't really do anything like outside the box. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Like everyone kind of played off each other a lot.
Gotcha. All right. Now, as far as characters are concerned, we got that covered. Now, the next question I have to ask is, visually, how well is this film? Because from the trailer, it seems like there's a lot of visual like cues with music and lighting effects. How much does all that play into this? Are there a lot of musical scenes in this?
Yeah, there's a lot. She sings a lot in the movie. So they cut in and like they throw in scenes where she's singing and they go by, and like sometimes they'll even cut away where she's singing in the background. While stuff is going on, while like they're in kind of in the trailer where he's walking through and he's watching her sing. Well, there's parts where he leaves the mic on and you just, as he's doing stuff, you still hear her sing.
Okay.
And there's like times where like it just shows her practicing or doing things, or there's actually a scene where like they're doing something and he's like, just sing, it's too quiet, and they just have her sing.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of bring that up, and they kind of have like the special effects, like then effects, but like the camera moving in terms of like different views and things, and how it rotates around and things like that. So they kind of like did a good job with the camera work.
All right. Okay. And then we'll skip towards the part of what do you think this film does well? Because it's listed as a mystery thriller. So what does this film do well?
It does well in terms of that mystery suspense, because you don't know. Like some of the characters have secrets, and they kind of imply throughout the way, and then they kind of, some of them leave like hints and things like that. And you're like, okay, wait, I know this isn't supposed to happen. What's going on here? And I'm like, okay, you're probably lying. I feel like this is gonna come back later on, or something else is gonna happen like that. And you kind of just go through like, okay, that might be important. Like it kind of leaves clues. But then it flips on you, so you're sitting there going, "Okay, I didn't expect that. That's the 180 out of nowhere. I didn't expect that."
So it does it have like a whodunit type of vibe, but also not quite in that same sense?
Not really a whodunit. It's sort of just like they're all just randomly at this hotel, and it's just kind of like,
how do they all tie in?
They all kind of tie in, just experience, and there's just a bunch of craziness that happens, and then they all kind of just figure out who they are while all this stuff is just going on.
Like how they all ended up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there wasn't like a real like a mystery in terms of like anybody dies. Oh, who did it? It's nothing like that. It's just the mystery is the people themselves, like who they really are.
That still was non-spoiler, just because there's that one trailer that talks about someone dying. So, non-spoiler.
I didn't say anybody died. I just said it's not a murder mystery.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, now, what do you think this film does not do well?
For the most part, I mean, it does a pretty good job. I would say, I mean, it's pretty long of a movie. I mean, you sometimes you kind of feel that, hey, it is like a 2.5 hour movie. I'm gonna be in here for a while. You kind of feel it like at sometimes because like the singing gets overdone at some point. You're like,
oh, okay,
all right, I know she sings. I get that. We don't need to keep having solos in the middle of this movie. Like, you could, all right, have her sing, cut, let's go with something else. But I mean, there's like one or two scenes that are important, but there's a couple times where it's just like, all right, I get it. Like, I honestly get it. Like, can we just, this scene is going too long. Like,
okay.
There's a couple of scenes where like they're doing stuff, and you're just like, I get what they're doing. I understand you're trying to bring tension, and you're trying to like get suspense, but it's sometimes like, all right, you've been doing it now for like 3 minutes. That could have got done in a minute and a half, like or something like that. It just one or two scenes.
It felt like a long film.
Just at certain points.
Okay.
Not the whole movie, just at certain points. And then toward the end, it really picks up. So like, there's a part in the middle where you're just like, okay, I kind of feel what's gonna kind of go ahead and what's gonna happen, and then you're kind of waiting for it to sort of happen, and then when stuff happens, it starts picking up speed, and you're like, all right,
okay,
now you're into it, and you're engaged in the movies. But it's like, it starts off a little bit like just kind of like getting the backstory, so it slows you down a little bit.
So it's a ramp up.
Yeah.
It's not a constant.
It's not a constant, so it's not gonna come in like constant action. It comes in like, all right, and then you get curious, and it has like a little here, and then bam, it hits you.
In all fairness, I don't know too many mystery thrillers that are bam, bam, bam the whole way through. So okay, so it kind of follows a typical mystery pattern of it. It's a slow build, and then this one actually has a good payoff. It sounds like.
Yes.
Okay, so that brings us to the rating. From 1 to 5, what would you give this?
It's just because it's a different movie. I'm gonna give it a 4.
A 4?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's something you don't normally see in terms of the way they did the style of the movie.
Okay. So
you don't normally see. It's not 100% linear, so it kind of flashes back and does certain things and kind of gives you like at one point in the movie, it shows the same scene from 3 different characters' point of views.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it kind of like switches like, okay, this is this version, this is this version, and then you see the same scene, and that kind of gives a whole different vibe. You're like, oh, okay, I didn't even know they were there. Like, you know, in terms of like the scene goes. You see it the first time, and you're like, oh, okay, oh. And then they see it again from a different angle, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize, oh, that changes the whole scene.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
And then like, you keep seeing parts of the scene, and it changes your whole aspect of what the scene is and what's going on.
All right. So a solid 4.
Yeah.
All right. So a film that they should watch this weekend in the theater, or should they wait? Even though you said it was a 4, I still need to know that.
I say watch it. I say watch it in the movie theater. I don't know if the theater experience adds more to it in terms of like what it is, but I mean, if you really want to see just a different type of like thriller type movie, I would say go see it.
Okay. So, certified 4-star from Ian.
I don't give too many outs. Just no.
4.
4.
And he is saying that if you are in the mood to watch a film this weekend, go check out Bad Times at the
Royale. Do you want to stay in California or do you want to stay in Nevada?
Bum, bum, bum. Now, quick question on that before we go. Is it safe to assume that they do touch on that a little bit in the film?
Not too much.
Oh, so it's just kind of like...
It's kind of like
it's a small plot device?
They kind of did it like that's what the attraction used to be in the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Like that was like the Nevada thing, and people would come for... It was like, you know, like a tourist trap, but it was like a thing like back in the day. Like, it was popping. It was the hotel, but then it's not like the same hotel it used to be.
Okay. It's seen better days.
Yes. And that's kind of what...
Probably that's the good times at the elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, the See You Better Days, and then it has... Yeah, we'll just get into it when we get to spoilers when I talk more about that.
All right.
Explain what the whole thing with the hotel.
All right, so that was the non-spoiler edition. Once again, 4 stars. Check it out in the theater. If mystery thrillers are your thing.
Yes.
And you, I guess ladies will probably watch this for Chris Hemsworth.
Yes. I mean, he does have a bunch of shirtless moments. If you guys like that.
But he played a good hippie, you're saying?
He did. He did play a good hippie. Like the first scene you see him, he basically gets naked. So it's kind of, he goes full hippie.
All right. Well, flower power. On that note, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you once again, everyone out there, for the love on all the videos and helping grow the channel.
Yes.
So,
thank y'all. Share it to everybody, yo.
Share it out.
Share it.
Peace.